And given the massive annual economic activity around things like Hajj, for example, do you see a future where Bitcoin plays a role in the pilgrimage of the financial transactions that we see in Bitcoin? Do you think that that will play a role in Hajj as well?
Oh, that's interesting. I've never actually thought about that. I do think because the Hajj. So for people that are not familiar with, that's also one of the other pillars of Islam is that we have to make pilgrimage to Mecca, and we have to do this at least once in our life. So whenever it's like the Hajj season, you see like Muslims from all over the world coming to this one place, and they're doing pilgrimage, and it's a great view. I've never actually done it before, but I like to watch like the broadcast that Saudi Arabia does whenever that happens because I think it's just really cool. But when you consider that Islam or Muslims are a very global community, it's a very global network, and specifically when you look at Hajj, I mean, you have all of these Muslims from all over the world come. They don't speak the same language, they don't come from the same cultures, but they all kind of have the same moral belief. Especially they all have the same religion. I think it makes sense that if you're going to coordinate the Muslims economically in any way, or if you're going to have them especially come for Hajj, I think it makes sense for all of them to be able to communicate value on a shared global decentralized ledger, rather than having all of these people coming from all over the world are going to now have to exchange their currency for the local currency, and then they're going to have to exchange it back. I mean, that works obviously, but I feel like because you're inherently dealing with an institution that's inherently global, in that you have to coordinate, that Muslims all over the world have to do this one thing, in Mecca. I think it makes sense to me whenever we're on a Bitcoin standard. I think that's going to help kind of streamline that process even better, because you have Muslims that are now finally able to, we may not be able to speak the same language, but we can speak the same language of value of Bitcoin. And I think that has a lot of other implications, because like if you have like this global Muslim network, it makes sense to not have all of these different fiat currencies competing with each other. It just introduces a lot of friction within the global Muslim community. But if they're all on a Bitcoin standard, we're able to communicate very effectively and very seamlessly and very frictionlessly, especially over the Lightning Network, for as just an example, being able to send sats to each other and being able to stream sats to each other. I think that will help with not just Hajj, but I think that'll also help with zakat. I think that'll help with coordinating and allocating capital globally among the Muslim community. I feel like Bitcoin is this thing that will help Muslims, I think, finally wake up and realize, any Muslim you talk to in the world, they definitely feel like there's some fragmentation. Muslims are kind of divided right now. But I feel like Bitcoin is one of those things that's not going to fix it completely, but I feel like will get us in the right direction for all the Muslims in the world to be able to coordinate globally, especially economically.
Points.